Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Canadian Football Central, CFL content for the fans, by the fans. And we have now the West semifinal has concluded. The BC Lions have defeated the Calgary Stampeders by a score of 33-30 with a walk-off field goal, Rick.
Which they should not have had.
You know what the good news is, at least for Stamps fans? Even if Rene Paredes hits that kick, that's not the deciding factor. You know what I mean? Like, him missing that conversion didn't cost them the game.
It's not even that. It's like just comparing the two teams offensively, Calgary outplayed BC. I don't care what anyone
unironically,
says.
Vernon Adams played very, very well. And actually, I think this kind of... What? Oh, we lost Rick. No, we're too early in the video to lose Rick. No. This could not be happening. 1 sec, folks. We're going to get him back. Rick, we barely started. Don't run away from me now. Oh, let's see. Do we have him back here? Yes, we do.
I'm here.
Hey, we got you back.
No,
now.
I was just saying I agree with you with the whole Vernon Adams thing.
Yeah, well, you know what it is? I think this actually does support the narrative that he doesn't play well in the cold. Because once the game was in a dome, he plays pretty decent. As he goes 23 for 33, so not the best completion percentage, but not awful. It's just kind of par. However, 334 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, passed for 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Nathan Rourke, he doesn't have a bad game though. Like even like he goes 16 for 22, 23 passing yards in the sense of he doesn't have a great game, but there's nothing crazy that he does wrong. You know what I mean? It's not like his completion percentage is terrible. It's not like he throws a bunch of interceptions. He doesn't throw any. He just he's more of a non-factor in this game. And so Sean White does a very, very good job where he is. And he goes for 4 for 4 and he hits all the conversions. James Butler does but Nathan Rourke actually does pretty well in the rushing. On 6 rushes, he gets 68 rushing yards for 1 touchdown. Kind of has added a lot more of that mobility into his game. I think that's something that he learned a bit from Vernon Adams. Dedrick Mills did a very good job for the Stampeders. 14 rushes, 111 yards, an average of 7.9 per carry. Very, very good. Jalen Philpott. This is the Jalen Philpott that Calgary has been looking for. Like they have been looking for Jalen Philpott to put some Tyson Philpott level performance up. He looked exactly like that in the game for Calgary. 7 receptions, 120 receiving yards, 17.1 on average with a touchdown. And then as well, Clark Barnes would get the other touchdown for the Stampeders. Rene Paredes would have generally a good game, except he would miss the extra point in a bit of a weird situation there. Lots of offense in this game, kind of like the last one that we discussed, where nobody was playing any defense this week, Rick.
Crazy as this sounds, the only deciding factor in this is an extra Sean White extra point and an extra Sean White extra field goal. That's the only thing.
Okay. Also, one off-topic thing. I need the CFL has done a great job updating everyone. Can the CFL contact Google and get them to update the logos? The Lions logo's out of date. The Stamps logo's out of date. The Elks logo's out of date. The Alouettes logo is out of date. Every logo here is
Just
so...
go into images and you'll find updated logos.
No, but I mean like in terms of their scores. You know, if you just search CFL and the Google will give you a quick summary of the scores. Yeah, I'm just saying it's out of date and it's kind of annoying. So get it fixed.
McInnes
Bush
had
shit.
McInnes had a decent game. Everyone else had garbage games.
And he made some well, no, I wouldn't say that. I'd say Aiden Eberhardt had a pretty decent game. It was a limited game in the sense of that he wasn't thrown to very much. I'm saying that I think he maximized what he could. He had some very good possession possession catches. I think if you're BC, you want to utilize, firstly, you want to get James Butler going more. He didn't kind of get going the way you hoped.
Yeah, but James
And
Butler
Nathan,
isn't 100% though.
that's true. But that's where Nathan Rourke has to pick up a little bit more of the slack. So I'm not upset with Nathan Rourke here, as he only gets 22 attempts, not a huge amount of time to shine. But if you're BC, you want to kind of get a bit more out of that offense. You want that offense to be rolling more. It's funny, they got 33 points, but I still think they can do better than that. I still think that their capabilities are stronger than that. And if they're going to if they're gonna take on the Riders next week, you're gonna need to be able to get some offensive success, because their defense has been damn good. Deontay Williams with 8 defensive tackles for the Lions led the team. There was a sack for Matthew Betts, one for Jonah Tavai, one for Micah Awe, and then one for Bradley Ane. So very, very good job by the Lions defense with the pass rush. Sheldon to Arnold had the most defensive tackles for the Stampeders, with one sack for Miles Brown and 2 for Jalen Hutchings. So good job for Jalen Hutchings.
Neither team had any interceptions.
Yeah, and the one pick. Was there any picks thrown in this game, actually? Or
no, not from BC and not from Calgary.
Yeah. I think there might have been a fumble, though. I can't remember.
Yeah, there's a fumble on...
Yeah, because there was a fumble... Because Adam
there's
Mockler forced a fumble, and then Kieran Poissant had picked it up.
Recovered it.
He gets the fumble recovery here. And then also Seven McGee... kind of gets a little bit roughed up during this game, and that name is still a little difficult for us, because I'm used to Sven.
Me, not me.
I've never, because Rick said it, and I'm like, "Do you mean Sven?" He's like, "No, 7." I'm like, "What?" And then I take a look, and I'm like, "Oh my God, it actually is like, well, like I feel like such a fool. I should know this." So, all in all,
you know what I wouldn't mind doing?
What would you not mind?
I'm curious. I don't mean this in a bad way. If we ever had him on, like, as a an interview guest, I don't want to be bring this up in a rude way. Like, I just want to know where 7 comes from. Like, if it's a nationality thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, back to their...
Yeah, is there do you know if there's any inspiration behind the name?
Yeah.
Is there that's I think that's a fair question. I think that's fair. But yeah, no, this is a game that is very evenly matched for the majority of this game. Looked like almost anyone could win it. And then it's just one of those things where, at the end of the game, the Lions were able to get close enough to allow a walk-off field goal to win it. And that's just kind of going to be a bit of the burning memory here for the Stamps. Stamps back in the playoffs and already out. Lions, they've...
I was going to say, this goes back to my first comment in our last preview, or our last review, is time freaking management.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not mistaken, I think it was just under a minute left. You know what? Let me actually pull it up. So, they kicked it off with 29 seconds left. So, they had 23 seconds to throw 3 passes and a field goal. If you took off just a little bit more time, you could have won that game. Or at least taken it to overtime. Because with 29 seconds left, it was 30-30, and I thought for sure they were going to go into overtime.
Yeah.
Because you had a pass incomplete, pass complete, pass incomplete, pass incomplete. Just run out the clock.
Yeah.
Because Mills had the yards.
Is there anything else we're missing? It feels weird. We've barely been talking about this game for 10 minutes. But I'm trying to think, is there any notable injuries that comes out of this game for the Lions that would maybe potentially...
To be honest, I don't even think this game had a single injury.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I didn't mention.
The Seven McGee one.
There was that one. I don't know if he was actually injured or if that was just he just kind of gotten hurt a little bit. One thing I did forget to mention, the punt or the kickoff return touchdown for Robert Carter Jr.
Yes.
For the Lions. That was kind of a big moment in the third quarter.
I was trying to look up to see where all the points came from. I'm like, well, if Rourke didn't throw any touchdowns.
Well, I'll give you a summary. I'll give you a summary of the game. First quarter, Sean White 40-yard field goal, Paredes 50-yard field goal. Second quarter,
I know that.
Punt single, the Rouge. Then a rushing touchdown, Jeremiah Mazzoli. Sean White makes the PAT. Then Rene Paredes hits a 35-yard field goal. Sean White hits a 39-yard field goal. That's halftime. At that point, then you got BC leading 13-7 over Calgary. Third quarter rolls around. 7-yard rushing touchdown for the Lions. Sean White makes the PAT. Passing touchdown for the Stamps. Jalen Philpott, 30-yard pass from VA. Paredes makes the PAT. Then that's when you get your kickoff return touchdown for the Lions. PAT is made. Then a passing touchdown for Clark Barnes, Stampeders, from VA. Paredes makes the point after. Then you hit fourth quarter, and Vaughn gets the rushing touchdown for the Stampeders. Rene Paredes then misses the PAT. Sean White hits a 39-yard field goal. Paredes hits a 38-yard field goal to tie it up at 30 apiece. And then Sean White with 0-0-0 left on the clock hits a 43-yarder, and that is game. I'm not going to lie, there's a part of me that was kind of hoping it to go to overtime. But overall, still a good ending to overall not too bad game. Not quite as exciting as the Winnipeg Montreal. And I'm not even saying that because I'm a fan of the Bombers, obviously I wasn't a fan of that game with the way that it resulted. But just in terms of just the constant, like Montreal on crazy all-out offense, and then all of a sudden Winnipeg on crazy all-out comeback offense, and then Alouettes get it going. Like, it was just very, like, just insanely, just constant U-turns, left turns all over the place. You know what I mean, Rick?
Mm-hmm.
So, what else do we got here, Rick? Is there anything else that we're missing here, or are we pretty much...
We're not missing anything.
I think we pretty much covered it. It
like
feels weird that, like...
No, you know what it is? It's because we're doing these in individual videos. Like, we don't have like 4 games to talk about.
Yeah. Well, and with the previews, we can get so much more into it because we can talk about the quarterback matchup, the running back matchup, the offensive line, the defensive line, the receivers, the kickers, the fucking punters if we wanted to, kick returners, linebackers, secondary, all sorts of stuff. The coaching matchup. We can get into all sorts of stuff. But once the game's done, you all saw the game. We're just kind of talking about a few key points here and there.
Or even if your team schedules bands to come out and perform.
Yeah. Yeah, well. Anyways, though. So with BC's win here, 33-30 win, BC will advance to next week's showdown, and they'll take on the Saskatchewan Roughriders in the West Final, and whoever wins that will go to the Grey Cup. So Montreal, Hamilton, BC, Saskatchewan, 2 of those teams will be in the Grey Cup game. One of them will win the 112th Grey Cup in Winnipeg. So I think that's all we got. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I want to know what your guys' thoughts were on this game, on all sorts of stuff, how you think it's going to go in the future. Make sure you guys check out our East semifinal review that is also up. A lot of good stuff in there covering that game. And then in the next few days, we will have our East and West final previews up. I think we're hoping to record that on the Wednesday, maybe upload that Thursday, something regarding that, something like that. And then, of course, this Saturday, we're going to be live streaming both games. So make sure you guys tune in for that. So, yeah, peace, love, and positivity, all you wonderful people at home. And we will see you guys next time.